Welcome back. Welcome into the Lions Share Rapid Reaction Edition because the Lions have their OC of the future. Or do they? Or do they? We will have reactions from all three of us. It is none other than with the first pick in offensive coordinators. I don't know if it's actually the first. The Detroit Lions select Drew Petzing, offensive coordinator from the Arizona Cardinals. That's right. Now let's kick it to ourselves for our reactions.
Rapid reaction. Lions hired Drew Petzing. I hope I'm saying that right. Had no idea who he was before the breaking news. Obviously, we just talked about it. We were all fans of McDaniel and Daboll. Seems like McDaniel's going to land somewhere, either as a head coach or literally have his pick of offensive coordinator positions. Texted the guys. Dan's not like the best at picking outside hires for OC. Anthony Lynn, John Morton got the exact same treatment halfway through the season. Dan took over. Those guys got the boot. Ben Johnson internally obviously worked out really well. So hopefully Drew breaks the mold. From what I've seen so far, Cardinals fans absolutely hated him. I don't really put too much stock in what Cardinals fans do or don't like. He's a run-first guy. From what I can gather, I really like that. I think he liked the RPO. I don't love that. But hey, it's hard to discredit anything any OC would have done with Kyler Murray under center or in the pistol or shotgun, whatever they ran. I think that was an organization that went all in on a quarterback and kind of got pigeonholed there. Something like the Cardinals have been terrible. So, hey, I'm holding out hope. Hopefully him and Dan can do some good things together. I'd like to see Shep come back and run the whole thing back. But again, run first guy. I really like that. I expect, as we've talked about, some investment in the offensive line, definitely through the draft, possibly through free agency. Shout out to Papa B. We'll see how it goes, but I'm hopeful. Hopefully Drew can get it done. Petzing. I got to figure that out. Go Lions.
Here we are, Lions fans. Emergency broadcast. Drew, whatever the hell, is finalizing the ink down on paper to become the new OC of the Detroit Lions for at least one season. So we'll see if we can make it a three-peat with OCs exiting the door. Kind of tough. Don't really know anything about the guy other than not a great pitcher. Not a good-looking dude in my eyes. Not judging a guy by his looks, but not my favorite looks. Maybe a little more hair on the head, but maybe can't get it. I don't know. Not a fan. Not sure what the Cardinals offense did, if anything. Thought we might try to get somebody that's got a little more work history with a pocket passing quarterback, since Goff's got zero mobility whatsoever. But instead we got the guy who had Kyler Murray. So not sure there. I'm not ready to give my blessing. Let's go Lions.
What do we like? What don't we like? Caveat to this of note. Have not listened to Papa B or Mufasa's versions because I didn't want it to influence what I'm about to say. So there may be some redundancy in this, perhaps. We'll get into this. All right, some things that I like about Drew Petzing. He's been a lot of places. Go through his Wikipedia here. He's bounced around since starting out as a volunteer assistant at Harvard all the way to the offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. I like this part of his resume with the Vikings for a lot of years where they had success. I like that. Also, while he was in Minnesota, spent some time with Hank Fraley. Maybe the biggest connection that I like about this guy, biggest positive that I've drawn away from it, because I've been all over the place. Let me tell you, my initial reaction to this, not great. Not a guy that I knew about. That's on me. I don't think a lot of people knew, though, for the matter of fact. Look, he started out as an LB coach, linebackers back in Yale days, then climbed up to the Cleveland Browns, Vikings, back to the Browns with Kevin Stefanski, which I think is a positive. I think, that's a good connection to have. And then found himself in Arizona under Jonathan Gannon, most recently 2023 to 2025. He minored in math and philosophy, also got a degree in economics to go hand in hand. So I like this guy. He's got a little of the mental side of things, but also the analytical with the math. So I think that bodes well for an offensive guy. I just watched the clip. I will link it in the show notes, Tommy will, about a play breakdown he did for the Arizona Cardinals. So kind of give you an idea of what the mindset of him is, kind of the ins and outs of what he thinks play by play. So after listening to that, it gave me a little bit more hope. Again, initial reaction, not great. Felt like a total Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell move, though, to go get somebody that we've never heard of. Other positives that we like. He missed a game once due to the birth of his child. I like that. He's a family man, Dan Campbell kind of guy. I like that part of him. What else? Boy, those were the big ones, I think, looking through my notes here. I guess this kind of is in between a pro and a con, kind of still gathering thoughts on this, but he is a run the ball kind of guy. In his time in Arizona, where he was in his most prominent role, offensive coordinator, offensive numbers, not great. However, offense success rushing rate, his first year, eighth overall in the NFL with a 42% rushing success rate. So, and that's a number that's been fairly consistent his whole time there in his 3 years as OC there. So I think that bodes well. I think Hank Fraley connection, offensive line minded kind of guy as the league kind of shifts. Maybe we'll get a deeper discussion on this in a later episode, but I think we're seeing a little bit of a shift in the offense scheme. A lot of boom, flashy plays over the years. Patrick Mahomes, think those type of players. And now the defenses have really stepped up, and that's a defensive league. At least it's shifting that way. And the offensives that are having success, like the Seattle Seahawks, are built out from the offensive line, run first. Certainly not a prolific quarterback with Sam Darnold. No shots to Sammy. But we know what that's all about. So I think this bodes well for that reason. But again, the offensive ranks in terms of points and other departments, not great. Hit his time in Arizona, 24th in points the first year, 12th in points the second year, which is kind of his best year, 12th in points, 11th in yards, and 8th in explosive play average, which is good. All of his numbers that year were really good. I guess if you can cherry pick that year, second year in the system, can't really count the first year because you're dealing with a lot of players, chemistry that is just not built up. All of the rankings in the first year were not great, although, again, the rushing success rate really solid in his first year. But everything else kind of ranked 20th or higher. And similarly, in his last season, this past season, 23rd in points, 23rd in explosive play, 19th in yards. So, look, take everything with a grain of salt. You hope, if you can be optimistic here, you hope it's because of the execution, because of the players, and because of the leadership with Jonathan Gannon, not so much on Petzing. Here we go. Let's go Lions. Drew Petzing. Okay, that was the last thing. One other last thing, actually. I was too optimistic about Morton. I had bad feelings, bad vibes about him when he was hired, and I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I hope I'm not doing that here with Petzinga. I hope not.